The galaxy wakes to a scream. Not a normal scream, not one person crying for help, but an entire civilization broadcasting pain across every star channel at the same time. A collective voice shaking every receiver in every council station. The name comes through static. Ehrlich's Alliance, under attack. Unknown enemy. Total collapse. The transmission repeats again and again until every species in the galaxy hears it. From shining cities floating above red dwarf stars to small farming colonies in green valleys on distant moons. People stare at screens showing something that looks like a nightmare made real. Cities covered in black metal like a growing forest, towers bending under weight of insect-like machines eating steel, stone, flesh. Ehrlich's soldiers fire weapons that melt mountains, but the black swarm absorbs everything like dark water swallowing drops of rain. The council hall fills with noise, alarms flashing red across the chamber. Ambassadors shouting orders, military officers pushing emergency war protocols on holographic tables. The air smells of panic, a mix of fear and politics. On huge screens at the center of the hall, live drones show Ehrlich's civilians running across broken streets. Mothers holding children wrapped in silver blankets, elders trying to escape burning temples. The swarm moves like liquid shadow, crawling over walls, cutting through people without emotion, rising like a storm of machines with one mind. The council speaker, a tall, multi-eyed being from the Sarai Empire, speaks loudly to bring order. We will support Ehrlich's with our fleets. Any species that can help, stand now. One by one, ambassadors rise, stating numbers, ships, weapons, food, evacuation capacity. Offers fly across the room. Everyone speaks except one table, the human table. The human diplomats sit like statues, silent, expressions unreadable. No promises, no help. They only listen. The galaxy does not understand silence. The more humans stay quiet, the more anger grows in the room. Ambassadors whisper to each other, voices sharp. Humans are selfish, always late, always quiet. They have fleets. Why do they hide? The Ehrlich's representative cries openly, tears falling down her 3 eyes, hands shaking as she shows footage of her burning city, her words trembling. Please, my people are dying. We need help now. Please. Her voice cracks and the entire hall goes silent for a moment, except for whispers of judgment thrown toward humans. On social networks across the galaxy, comments explode. Earth doesn't care. Humans think they are better. Ehrlich's saved them once. Now they ignore them. News anchors ask harsh questions. Where is Earth's support? Why are their fleets not launching? In Ehrlich's city ruins, a child stands on top of broken wreckage holding a small glowing toy, broadcasting a message through a broken comm unit. Will anyone help us? Millions watch the child's image. People cry. Still, humans stay silent. No messages, no fleets, nothing. The council grows furious. The Sarai speaker looks at the human table. Earth must respond. Say something. But the humans only bow their heads slightly and remain quiet. The Ehrlich's representative screams through tears. You fight every enemy alone when it comes to you, but you leave us to die? Why? The human diplomat looks at her, calm, eyes deep, but still says nothing. The galaxy hates silence more than war. Hours later, news broadcasts show Ehrlich's towers collapsing. A father tries to lift a child from a metal web, but the swarm pulls them both under. Soldiers scream for evacuation, but there's no time. The council fleets launch small task forces, but they are too far, too slow, too weak. Everyone expects humans to join, but Earth remains dark. No engines, no broadcasts, no calls. Instead, Earth's global network pulses once, sending an encrypted signal across human military channels. No one outside Earth understands it, but every human soldier, every captain on every hidden base feels their heart freeze, because the signal is not a request. It is a command. Midnight arrives across human territory. Earth rotates in darkness. The moon glows silver. Mars cities flicker under quiet lights. The galaxy sleeps thinking Earth abandoned Ehrlich's. But beneath the shadows of Saturn, something ancient awakens. Hidden behind the rings, invisible to normal scanners. Massive doors open like giant black flowers made of steel and gravity, each one large enough to swallow a mountain. Inside these gates lie monsters humans built in silence. Dreadnoughts, black warships the size of floating cities, hulls curved like blades, engines glowing in deep red pulses like dying stars. They rise slow, quiet, unstoppable, drifting forward like leviathans leaving the abyss. Each dreadnought has no symbol of pride, no flag. Only matte black armor with scars from old battles no one remembers but humans. The engines ignite, clouds twist, lightning splits atmosphere. At once, thousands of dreadnoughts launch forward like a storm of iron. Fire trails behind them, tearing the sky open. The rings of Saturn shake, dust exploding outward in sparkling waves. Space around the gates burns bright like heaven catching fire. Every ship leaves behind a tail of flame that looks like comets bleeding fire across darkness. Long ribbons of ion light sweep across space. Red, blue, silver, twisting through black emptiness. Cameras from satellites show the scene live, and the galaxy sees something it never imagined. The sky burning as humans rise. Screens across alien worlds show the same image. Planet after planet gasps as they witness a fleet so large it looks like a moving wall. Mothers wake children to see history happening. Soldiers salute screens. Old veterans cry because they understand what this kind of fleet means. This is not help. This is execution. All species mocked human silence hours ago. Now they cannot breathe. Their voices vanish. People who called humans selfish now shake in fear, whispering to themselves. They were not refusing. They were preparing. In the council hall, every ambassador rises, chairs falling back, jaws open in disbelief. The Sarai speaker gasps, "How many ships did Earth build?" The human diplomat stands finally, his voice calm, quiet, strong. "They asked for help. We will answer." The Erlik's representative stares at him, tears falling faster. "Why didn't you speak earlier?" The human diplomat looks at her with eyes full of something deeper than emotion, responsibility. "Talking wastes time. We move first, speak later," he says. She covers her mouth, shaking. On Erlik screens, fire cuts the night sky as dreadnoughts jump to hyperspace, giant engines pushing gravity into ripples that shake nearby moons. The swarm continues eating cities, but drones catch a final image before collapse. The sky above the Erlik's homeworld turning red, clouds burning as flames descend from space. Erlik's children look up from hiding tunnels and see heaven burning. To them, it looks like gods have arrived. For a moment, every scream in the galaxy stops. The only sound is engines, thousands of engines roaring like thunder rolling over stars. The dreadnought fleet travels faster than any recorded speed, engines compressing spacetime like fabric. Each jump leaves behind a glowing tear in reality that slowly heals. On the command bridge of the lead dreadnought, Admiral Saran Hale stands tall, looking through thick transparent armor into endless space. He is older, scars on his cheek like forgotten maps of war, eyes deep like black holes reflecting loss. His voice goes through fleet channels cold like steel. "Target, Erlik system. No delay. No mercy." He remembers something the galaxy doesn't know. The last time humanity fought these monsters centuries ago in dark history lost to time. The Mindverm, the Swarm, the Memory Eaters. He knows this enemy is not invading for planets. They are invading for minds. On Earth, scientists check the old archives. Ancient carvings found on forgotten ruins under Antarctica long ago. Symbols that show humans fighting black swarms under red skies. History erased by time. But blood remembers truth even when books forget. In Erlik's orbit, the swarm grows huge, now surrounding the planet like a black shell. People inside bunkers hear echoes of machines biting through walls. Children cry with no tears left. Soldiers hold useless weapons, whispering prayers not to their gods, but to the sky. "Someone please." And then, space cracks open. A wormhole tears like paper. Light pours out. Dreadnoughts arrive. First one, then 10, then 1,000, then 10,000, filling half the sky. Their engines roar like thunder splitting mountains. The swarm stops, reacting like a beast sensing predator. For the first time in hours, Ehrlich's soldiers feel something strange. Hope. Admiral Hale looks down at the burning planet. His voice cuts across open broadcast for every species to hear. We do not send aid. We end the threat. And then the galaxy sees something unforgettable. Earth unleashes hell. Dreadnoughts fire void cannons, beams of black energy that cut space like knives, erasing the swarm in silent waves. Not explosion, deletion. Whole layers of the swarm collapse into nothing like shadows burned by light. People watching don't breathe. Void beams carve through metal forests like divine swords. Every dreadnought fires again and again, the sky turning into a storm of black fire. The swarm tries to block, but gravity around the beams shatters them like glass. Admiral Hale raises his hand slowly. Wall of fire. Ships move together, forming a giant ring formation around the planet, gravity engines sinking into one system, creating a firewall in space, burning like a circle of suns. The swarm hits it and disintegrates, screams of broken machinery echoing across empty channels. Ehrlich's soldiers watch with wide eyes as the heavens themselves seem to burn in rage, red and black fire wrapping the sky like angry clouds. Elders say old prayers. Children believe gods arrived. Soldiers cry openly, seeing their city saved by hands of strangers. On the council station, no one speaks. Screens show the impossible, humans burning the heavens as an answer. Ambassadors realize something terrifying. Humans did not send help. Humans sent judgment. The galaxy expected aid. Humans gave extinction to the enemy instead. People across worlds whisper, "What kind of species answers like this?" Someone says a line that becomes legend. Humans don't save with words. They save with war. The dreadnought formation tightens, crushing the remaining swarm into ground, turning black metal forests into dust. Flames rise, but not fire. Gravity storms twisting rubble into clouds. Ehrlich's children run to the surface, staring at red sky, seeing ships bigger than mountains. A child whispers, "Are they angels?" No one knows how to answer. Above them, Admiral Hale watches the destruction. His heart is heavy, not pride, but cost. He sees the swarm dying and remembers screams from hundreds of years ago. Screams of his ancestors in a war no one remembers. His hand shakes slightly as he touches the screen showing Ehrlich cities covered in smoke. "No more," he whispers to himself. Then he gives a command that makes the galaxy stand still. "No survivors. Erase the swarm." His voice is calm, like fate speaking. Across the galaxy, billions watch humans act with crushing power fueled by silent duty. The swarm falls. Ehrlich's breaths return. And every species realizes humans were never slow. Humans were preparing a war the galaxy didn't understand. Their silence wasn't selfishness. It was strategy. In the council hall, the Ehrlich's representative collapses to her knees, crying with relief. The Sarai speaker whispers, voice filled with disbelief, "Earth answered." And the human diplomat replies softly, "They expected aid, so we burned the heavens instead." The sky over the Ehrlich's homeworld glows like a dying fire. Red clouds drift above broken cities, reflecting the burning heavens created by human dreadnoughts. Dust falls like gray snow over the ruins, mixing with tears of Ehrlich's civilians who stand outside bunkers in silence, staring at the sky that looks both beautiful and terrifying, because they know salvation came not with speeches, but with a storm. The remaining swarm fragments melt into smoke as gravity ripples from dreadnought cannons tear their bodies apart. Soldiers hold children on their backs, blood on their armor, dirt on their faces, and eyes full of something the swarm could never eat: hope. Inside the lead dreadnought, Admiral Saran Hale stands on the command bridge surrounded by screens showing Ehrlich cities in ruins. A fire reflects in his eyes, not from outside, but from inside his memory. His hand rests against cold glass, feeling the vibration of distant explosions. The bridge is silent except for low hum of engines holding the firewall above the planet like a ring of orbiting suns. Officers stand behind him, afraid to break the moment. For a few seconds, victory tastes bitter. Yes, the swarm fell. Yes, Ehrlich's lived. But the ruins below speak louder than celebration. Too many died before humans arrived. Too many memories turned into dust. Admiral Hale closes his eyes. He sees another battlefield, one nobody in this galaxy remembers. Ancient fires, black swarms on a different world, soldiers screaming in a language time erased. He remembers stories whispered in his family, old memories about a war that happened before history started keeping records. He opens his eyes again, voice cold like steel. Send surface teams. Find survivors. Collect swarm fragments. I want answers. His voice spreads through the fleet like command in blood. Hundreds of dropships launch from dreadnought hangars like sparks falling into a dark forest. They fall through clouds, engines screaming, burning air with red trails. Soldiers prepare inside, armor glowing with war lights, railguns loaded, knives strapped to their legs, but their hearts heavy. Not from fear of enemy fire, but from fear of what they will see on the ground. Dropships land on cracked squares, metal claws sinking into broken stone. Soldiers spread through ruined streets filled with metal roots from the swarm, sharp lines, silver threads wrapped around buildings like a choking vine. Houses are gone. Temples turned to dust. Marketplaces burned. But among ruins, life moves. A child's hand pushes through rubble, a small body shaking. Soldiers rush, lifting heavy debris with suits powered by gravity motors. They find families, weak, injured, eyes full of shock, skin covered with silver dust. The swarm cocooned them, tried to eat their memories. Some can barely speak. Some scream when soldiers touch them, still trapped in mental echo of horror. Human medics kneel beside them, giving water, stabilizing wounds, whispering soft words in a language the Ehrlichs don't fully understand. But it doesn't matter. Tone matters more than words. A wounded Ehrlich soldier, chest cut open by swarm blades, grabs the arm of a human medic. His voice shakes. Why did humans come? Council said you refused. The medic wipes blood, voice soft. We don't talk about help. We give it. The soldier cries, not from pain, but from relief. In the streets, soldiers find strange objects. Silver spheres wrapped around faces, tubes inside skulls. A Marine touches one, and it breaks open like an egg, leaking black mist that evaporates instantly. A scientist scans it and gasps, voice shaking. This? It was storing neural patterns. Everyone freezes. Neural patterns, memories, identity, thought. The swarm wasn't just eating bodies. It was eating minds. Admiral Hale hears the report on his command screen. His stomach tightens. Old fear crawls up his spine like cold metal. Collect samples under full containment, he orders. Nobody touches without armor. Surface scanners detect something deep beneath ruins, a large dome-like structure buried under collapsed buildings. Soldiers dig through rubble, using blast tools to remove metal vines until a black doorway appears. It opens automatically when human presence is detected. Inside, darkness breathes like a living organism. Walls are smooth metal, shaped like bone fused with machinery. Strange patterns glow faintly like dying stars. When soldiers enter, their lights reveal something horrific. Rows of Ehrlich civilians hanging like seeds from a dark tree, mouths covered, bodies wrapped in silver webs, eyes open, staring blank into nothing. Tubes run into their skulls, pulling memories like dripping water. Machines move slowly, like they are thinking, not working. A Marine vomits inside his helmet. Another screams, punching walls until his knuckles bleed. The horror is too much. People still alive used like storage batteries for memories. The commanding officer whispers, "Cut them down." Soldiers climb structures, slicing webs, catching bodies. Some civilians collapse into soldiers' arms, screaming when tubes detach. Some remain silent, eyes empty. Their minds were eaten. A child falls into a Marine's hands, small, shaking, skin pale like metal. The child looks at the soldier with hollow eyes, voice weak. "Where is my mother?" The Marine cannot answer. His throat closes. He hugs the child against his armor, whispering, "You're safe now," even though he doesn't know if safety is real anymore. Admiral Hale sees the live feed and his heart breaks silently. This isn't war, this is theft of life, a harvest of minds. This enemy doesn't conquer territory. It conquers consciousness. He turns to his science team, voice sharp. Identify the enemy. The scientist hesitates, voice trembling. Sir, this technology is not new. It's old. Ancient. Define ancient. Hale demands. Older than council history. The scientist answers. Older than every known empire. Maybe older than recorded time. Silence kills the room. Officers stare at each other. Ancient enemy. The scientist continues. The machines are not built. They are grown. Like memories shaped into metal. Admiral Hale's eyes narrow. This is not invasion. This is return. Deep below the structure, scanners detect a core. A black orb beating with slow pulses like a mechanical heart. Soldiers approach carefully. When they get close, the orb opens like an eye, revealing swirling metal fog inside. A voice comes through every radio channel, not spoken by mouth, spoken by signal. We remember you, humanity. Soldiers freeze. Admiral Hale's blood turns to ice. The voice continues, emotionless, not angry, not scared, curious. You were the children of fire, the ones who burned our sky. We waited. Humans in the command room stare at the screen. They don't understand. The voice speaks again, like memory rising from the grave. You killed us once, before your species forgot its own history. The scientist collapses into his chair, whispering, Sir, this enemy, it knows us. It knows humans. Admiral Hale trembles, not from fear of machines, but from fear of hidden truth. A forgotten war, a forgotten genocide, a forgotten enemy. He whispers, humans fought them before thousands of years ago, and forgot. One officer shakes his head. Impossible. Another answers, voice breaking, unless something erased the memory. The orb pulses stronger, sending waves like heartbeat across metal floor. We remember your rage. Now we taste it again. We eat worlds because you left us incomplete. Admiral Hale slams his hand on the table. Enough! He orders heavy containment. Marines surround the orb, firing gravity nets that freeze its motion, cutting its signal. The voice fades like fading dream. But the fear stays. Not from the enemy, from the truth. Humans carry history in blood. Something erased from books lives in DNA like scars no scientist can see. Outside, Ehrlich civilians gather around human soldiers, crying into their armor, hands shaking, asking questions they cannot answer. Ehrlich's leaders broadcast live messages to the galaxy, voice broken. Earth answered. They saved us all. But Admiral Hale knows something darker. This isn't victory. It's beginning. The fleet returns to orbit. Dreadnoughts form a massive line, engines burning like suns. People across the galaxy watch, feeling something new. Not fear, not anger, respect mixed with terror. Humans didn't help with kindness. They helped with fury. In the council hall, silence is heavy. No one dares accuse Earth now. They saw the truth on screens. Humans didn't ignore Ehrlich's. They prepared a war answer that no one else could imagine. The Sarai speaker whispers, what enemy makes humans remember past lives? The human diplomat answers quietly, one that humanity couldn't forget, even after forgetting history. In the shadows of the hall, ambassadors argue about next steps. Alliances, new weapons, research. But one sentence from a small Ehrlich's child, broadcast accidentally through emergency channel, silences every debate. The child asks, will the monsters come back tomorrow? That is the question that matters. Not politics, not pride, not strategy, survival. Admiral Hale orders the fleet to hunt down every piece of mindworm technology, every hive, every core hiding in deep space. From today, he says, we fight a war older than stars. He looks at the burning sky one last time, voice low. We didn't send aid. We sent judgment. And somewhere far beyond the galaxy's edge, something listens. Something that remembers ancient flames. Something that knows humans have returned. The swarm wasn't searching for planets. It was searching for a memory, humanity's. The war is not over. It just woke up. The Ehrlich sky is quiet now, silent like a breath before a scream. Broken towers stand like bones of cities that once touched clouds, now covered in dust and silver scars from the mindworm swarm. Smoke rises from temples and market squares where people once laughed, traded, sang their songs. Children walk through streets barefoot, eyes wide, too young to understand why their dreams turned into nightmares overnight. Above them, human dreadnoughts hover like dark mountains in the sky, engines humming low, shadows stretching over ruins like cosmic wings protecting broken ground. Soldiers walk slow among rubble, holding scanners, guiding survivors to medical camps, carrying wounded Ehrlichs on their backs because the wounded cannot walk, and because humans want to show that even in war they carry life, not death. But beneath the tenderness of rescue, something darker is rising, old memories awakening inside human minds, memories that do not belong to this generation, memories that feel older than language, like echoes of ancient screams carved into blood. Inside the Dreadnought flagship, Admiral Saran Hale stands over a table made of hard light, holographic streams showing swarm fragments collected from underground chambers. Scientists study silver shards that pulse faintly like dying insects, trying to understand why the machines felt alive, why they whispered like ghosts trapped in metal. One shard suddenly shakes, emitting a thin cry of static. Not sound, but a signal that feels like a baby's cry mixed with a predator's hunger. A young scientist, pale and shaking, whispers, "It's feeding on our presence." Admiral Hale's jaw tightens. He remembers the voice from the core. "You were children of fire." That sentence repeats in his mind like a curse. He orders the bridge to open secure channels to Allied ships and to the Council, but before he speaks, the screens flicker with a second wave of messages. Thousands of calls from across the galaxy. Not from leaders, but from citizens, from families watching the war live on their walls, from children crying for Ehrlich's children, from veterans remembering old wars, from colonies asking the same question. Will humans protect us too? The galaxy once mocked humans. Now they look to them like protectors. But Admiral Hale knows protection comes with price. Price written in blood. He turns away from screens and looks through reinforced glass at the planet below. Clouds swirl around black scars on land, red light reflecting from ships. He sees people rebuilding tents while flames burn in distance. He imagines the screams that came before arrival. Screams swallowed by silence. His heart tightens. Human fury is a quiet storm. It doesn't explode instantly. It builds like pressure under mountains until molten fire rises. Humanity doesn't shout when insulted. It waits. But when the time comes, the answer doesn't arrive as words. It arrives as ships big enough to burn heaven. A sudden alarm rings. Fleet sensors detect something moving at edge of the system. Not swarm fragments, something bigger, spreading like a shadow wave through stars. Officers report fast. Multiple signatures inbound. Estimate millions. The air in the bridge turns cold. Everyone freezes. The dead swarm wasn't alone. It was only the first claw. Now the full monster is coming. A black sea of machines descending on Ehrlichs like gravity itself wants to end the world. Admiral Hale doesn't hesitate. He orders formation shift. Voice sharp like iron pulled from fire. Form burning ring. Full void barrier. Ships move immediately, dreadnoughts aligning into a perfect circle around the planet. Engines powering gravity wells that bend space, creating a burning shield. Ehrlich's survivors see the sky turn into a ring of gold and black fire like a halo protecting their world. Children point at sky, shouting in fear and wonder. Old villagers kneel, believing they are seeing gods. The swarm hits the barrier like a tsunami hitting stone cliffs. Space screams. Gravity folds. Silver-black creatures crash into the shield and disintegrate into clouds of dust that evaporate in light. But waves keep coming bigger, stronger, thinking smarter. They twist around beams, shaping into spirals, testing human defenses like predators testing cages. Inside the dreadnought, young officers tremble watching numbers on screens increase faster than heartbeat. One whispers, "This is not invasion. This is genocide." Another replies, voice hollow, Not genocide, consumption. They eat minds, not bodies. Suddenly, the command AI boots up ancient files, archives from human ruins under Antarctica discovered decades ago. Images appear on screen, paintings carved in stone of humans fighting silver swarms under red skies. The drawings show massive ships crashing into enemy hives, human silhouettes holding spears made of light, children being pulled from black cocoons. The war looks like myth, a myth now happening again. The bridge goes silent. Screens show text translated from ancient symbols. It reads, "They eat memories. They turn souls into metal. They live in minds, not worlds." Admiral Hale closes his eyes. Now he understands the whisper. "We remember you. Humans once burned their sky to end the swarm. The swarm remembers." His heart shakes with anger. Not rage, but sorrow. The sorrow of watching history repeat because memory was erased. Because someone wanted humans to forget what they are capable of when they are truly cornered. Humans are the species that loves deeply and destroys completely when that love is threatened. Swarm waves intensify. They crash against the barrier like storms breaking mountains, burning in gravity fire. Each hit shakes dreadnought hulls violently, lights flickering, engines screaming. Admiral Hale's face becomes stone. "Open void cannons," he commands. Thousands of cannons open like dragon mouths, forming black circles on dreadnought armor. Instead of light, they shine darkness, pure void energy bending space inward. Admiral Hale raises his hand slowly. Fire! Black beams cut through space, not like lasers, like tears. Space opens into thin lines, pulling swarms into nothingness. No explosion, no debris, only silence. The galaxy watches in horror as millions of swarm units vanish without sound. It looks like death without violence. Absence, removal, erasure. People don't know whether to be amazed or afraid. Ehrlich's soldiers scream with joy seeing swarms die. Children hug each other. Citizens shout humans' names. But Admiral Hale feels nothing. Victory doesn't feel like triumph. It feels like repeating tragedy. Then a new signal. The swarm changes tactic. It doesn't attack the shield. It attacks minds. Suddenly, humans on the bridge hear whispers creeping into their thoughts. Not words, memories. Voices of dead loved ones calling their names. Images of children crying. Echoes of screams from old battlefields they never fought. One officer falls to his knees, shaking, tears exploding from eyes, screaming, "Mom?" Another soldier coughs blood, shaking violently, seeing visions of her brother drowning even though she never had a brother. A third officer claws at his helmet, begging the voices to stop. The swarm is eating minds, bypassing metal and going straight to soul. Admiral Hale stands still, breath heavy, and whispers one word, "Stop!" But voices push harder, whispering old secrets. "We know you. We were born from your fear. We will eat what you love most." Admiral Hale's eyes widen. Fear not for himself, but for his people. And then something unexpected happens, something the swarm never experienced. Humans respond, not alone but together. Soldiers hold each other upright. Officers grab hands. Crying staff lean against each other. They form circles on the bridge, breathing together. Their pain becomes unity. Their fear becomes connection. Where swarm tries to break minds, humans build chains of love. Admiral Hale steps into the center of room, puts his hand on the table, activating ship-wide comms. His voice echoes everywhere, from engine rooms to medbays, across every ship in fleet. Listen, these memories are not real. Our real memories are alive in our hearts, not in their claws. Hold each other. Fight together. His voice is not shout. It is whisper made of fire. And whisper spreads. Soldiers on decks drop weapons to hug comrades. Engineers shout each other's names, reminding reality, reminding love. The swarm hits harder, but their attack changes. Where they find loneliness, they break minds. Where they find love, they fail. Humanity's shield is not metal. It is connection. The swarm was built to consume data, not emotion. Emotion is the one language it cannot decode. Admiral Hale sees soldiers stabilizing, Screams turning into breaths, tears into strength. He understands something deep. Swarm has evolved for millions of years, but missed one truth. Humans carry pain like fire, but it doesn't destroy them. It gives them purpose. The swarm tries one last attack. A massive core breaks from fleet, rushing toward the barrier, glowing silver-black like compressed nightmares. Admiral Hale doesn't flinch. He whispers, "For Erlix." Then he lifts his hand and commands, "Burn the sky." Every dreadnought fires at once, cannons releasing black fire that curves into a giant ring of energy. Space bends. The ring expands like a burning halo. The core hits the halo and explodes. Not like matter, like thought breaking into fragments. Silver shards scatter like coins glowing in vacuum, dissolving into light. For a moment, everything stops. Space is silent. Ships float in stillness. People breathe. Erlix survivors look at sky painted red by gravity storms. And the galaxy sees. Not fireworks, not glory. Humanity standing in silence, heads bowed for those lost. That silence is louder than any victory scream. Later, in Council Hall, ambassadors stand around humans, not in anger, not in judgment, but in shock. They whisper. They fought inside their minds. They used connection as weapon. What kind of species are they? The human diplomat answers with calm eyes. A species that learned long ago, we win together or we die alone. On Erlix ground, children run to human soldiers, hugging legs, calling them protectors. Soldiers kneel, holding tiny hands, crying with them, apologizing without reason. Apology for arriving late, apology for not saving all. Admiral Hale stands on his bridge, looking at stars slowly calming, his heart heavy. He whispers to himself, "We didn't come to be heroes. We came because no one else could." And far beyond the galaxy's edge, in a dark field between stars, something watches the battle replayed through swarm memories. Something old, something wise, something built from shadows. Its voice echoes like cold wind through space. They remembered love. We must adapt. The war has only started. Humanity has shown face of fury, but the enemy has seen something more terrifying. Humanity's love is stronger than their fear. And now the swarm will evolve. To fight humans again, they must learn emotion. The worst war is coming. Not for planets, but for hearts. The Erlix sun rises slowly over shattered cities, painting ruins in golden light that slips through broken windows and cracked temple pillars. Smoke still curls from collapsed towers where the swarm built metal webs only hours ago, melting under gravity fire from human dreadnoughts. The ground is soft with ash, and footsteps leave marks like memories pressed into dust. Soldiers move through streets carrying children, giving water to elders, guiding families to rescue camps. Erlix citizens look at humans with eyes filled with gratitude, shock, and a strange fear. Not fear of harm, but fear of power so great, so silent, that it feels impossible to understand. Above the wounded planet, the human fleet floats in perfect ring formation, engines glowing like cold suns, hulls dark like night itself. The dreadnoughts cast shadows over clouds, like colossal mountains suspended in sky. They look still, motionless, but inside them minds are storming. Admiral Saran Hale stands alone on the bridge of the flagship, hands behind his back, eyes fixed on space. His expression is not victory, it is weight. The weight of knowledge. The weight of history rising from graves of forgotten centuries. Screens around him show reports from battlefield. Swarm fragments captured, core sealed in quantum shell, survivors rescued. But one report shakes everyone. Scientists found something inside the black orb taken from underground hive. Consciousness residue. Not data, not code. Something alive. Something thinking. Something suffering. Admiral Hale walks to the analysis chamber, steel boots echoing on metal floors. Inside, scientists stand pale like ghosts. On the table lies the orb, silent now, wrapped in layers of blue containment fields. The lead scientist, a woman from Mars Research Institute, looks at the Admiral with eyes that look older than her age. "It cried," she whispers. Hale's heart stops for a moment. "Machines don't cry," he says. The scientist shakes her head slowly. This isn't machine. It's mind trapped in metal. They run a projection. The orb sings static, forming a pattern that slowly becomes a voice. Not words, feelings. Fear, hunger, confusion. The swarm was not born evil. It was something broken, something incomplete. Something created to serve purpose and abandoned. On a side screen, ancient symbols rotate, the carvings found in Antarctic ruins decades ago. The carvings show humans fighting swarm under a bloody sky, ships firing beams shaped like runes, soldiers carrying glowing spears. The pictures look like myth carved by ancestors trying to warn future. Admiral Hale stares at symbols, a chill crawling through his spine. His mind remembers the swarm's whisper. You killed us first. Behind that voice was pain, old pain carried for ages. He touches the screen gently, tracing one symbol that looks like a star splitting open. What did we do? He whispers to himself. The scientist answers with shaking voice. We found the gate. Long before council history. Long before humans learned peace. We found something in darkness, and we destroyed it without understanding what it was. Hale nods slowly. Humanity's strength is fierce. Humanity's weakness is blind fury when threatened. Long ago, humans faced something terrifying and fought without hesitation. And they won. But victory left scars. Scars in enemies, scars in stars, scars in human bloodline itself. The memory was lost, erased by time, but pain remembers even when history forgets. The council calls an emergency session. Ambassadors gather in a giant hollow chamber shaped like star map, walls shining with orbit paths of every colony. Ehrlich's representative stands in middle, voice broken but steady. We owe our lives to Earth. The hall listens quietly. No arguments, no politics, only truth. Then the Sarai speaker asks the question the galaxy fears. What are these machines? Human diplomat steps forward, voice calm like winter stone. They are mindverm, ancient, older than any empire here. The hall murmurs fearfully. How do you know? And the human diplomat answers what nobody expected. Because we fought them before. Silence crushes the room. Everyone stares. Historians cry in disbelief. Ambassadors whisper like wind through dead forest. Humans fought what? When? How? Why do we not know? The human diplomat uploads visuals, the carvings from Antarctic caves, archives decoded by AI, memories stored in DNA fragments. Screens show drawings. Humans in armor made of fire, faces hidden by glowing helmets, swarms falling under beams of darkness, children being carried from cocoons, ships shaped like ancient dreadnoughts burning skies. The Sarai speaker's legs shake. This war happened before council existed. The human diplomat nods softly. Yes, our ancestors destroyed half the swarm. They saved the galaxy once. In silence. Shock spreads through hall like shockwave. Humans were not new warriors. They were old warriors who forgot their own war. An elder ambassador from Krell species whispers, why didn't humans remember? Admiral Hale answers through broadcast, voice rough, tired. Maybe because remembering that much pain breaks you. Maybe because our ancestors buried the war in myths. Or maybe something erased it. The council hall grows darker. The idea spreads like poison, something erased human history. A force that wanted humanity to forget their strength. Forget their enemy. Forget their purpose. On the flagship, Admiral Hale walks to observation window, staring at stars turning slowly. He sees a reflection. Not just his face, but faces of soldiers behind him, thousands of eyes watching sky for return of nightmare. He knows something. War is not just coming. War never ended. It was sleeping. Suddenly, the orb in containment pulses violently. Scientists scream. Alarms blare. The containment field shakes. The orb opens slightly, releasing a wave of static that fills room. Voices explode through speakers. Thousands of voices screaming at once. Not in words, but sensations. Fire, cold, hunger, loss. Soldiers fall to knees, clutching heads, tears running down faces without reason. The scientist slams emergency shield. locking orb in stasis. Slowly, screams fade. The room breathes again. Admiral Hale stares at orb, and he sees something moving inside. Shapes of faces. Human faces. Children. Women. Men. Not real faces, memories copied by Swarm. The mindworm didn't just eat Ehrlich's minds. It had eaten human minds long ago. Those minds still live inside it. He whispers, voice broken, "They carry us. Our old pain. Our old souls." The council receives live feed. Everyone sees faces trapped in metal fog. The hall fills with cries. Ambassadors cover mouths. The Ehrlich's representative falls to floor, unable to breathe. A young diplomat screams, "They ate humans before. They kept us alive inside them." This is truth. The ancient swarm wasn't pure machine. It was born from minds of humans taken in war. Humanity created its own enemy by trying to destroy it completely. The Sarai speaker trembles. "Why are they returning now?" Admiral Hale answers in soft voice like thunder hidden in clouds. "Because we woke the memories. When we saved Ehrlich's, we showed fire again." The swarm remembers the fire. He looks at camera, eyes locked with galaxy. "This war is written in us. They are part of us, and we are part of them." The hall screams in disbelief. But truth is truth. Ancient war created link between minds of humans and swarm. Admiral Hale breathes deep. He makes a decision heavy like planets. "We cannot kill them like before," he says. "If we erase them, we erase minds inside them. Our own people. Our history." The council argues. Some scream for annihilation. Some beg for peace. Hale listens quietly, eyes closed. He hears voices of trapped minds crying through orb. He feels pain older than any council law. He opens his eyes and speaks. "We must save them." Everyone stares as if he lost mind. Save enemy? Save swarm? Save creatures that ate children? He continues. "We save what is ours inside them. We free minds. We end war with mercy, not fire." That sentence cuts through council like blade. A young Ehrlich's woman watching on screen whispers, "Humans burn heaven and then choose mercy?" Elders kneel, crying, "They are not monsters. They are guardians." In Flagship Hall, Admiral Hale touches orb, through layers of containment. Gently, like touching gravestone of ancestor. "We will save you," he whispers, "even if you tried to kill us." The orb glows faint blue. Something inside responds. Faint echo. "Remember." The bridge lights flicker. Officers feel strange warmth inside chest. Memory not theirs. A woman sees image of ancient battlefield. Two children hugging under red sky while soldiers fight swarm above. A man sees image of his own face carved into stone but older, holding spear made of light in past life. Tears fall from engineer's eyes without reason. He remembers dying fighting swarm thousands of years ago. History never died. It lived in minds. It lived in blood. It lived in pain. Admiral Hale orders new mission. Not destroy swarm, but break connection between mind and metal, free consciousness, give humanity back what was stolen. Scientists calculate crazy plan, using void cannons in reverse, turning deletion beams into separation waves. Not killing, but splitting minds from machine. Impossible. Or maybe possible only for humans who don't see impossible, only purpose. The council watches as humans choose path nobody expected. Mercy that looks like madness. They expected aid. They received fire. Now they expect war. They receive mercy sharper than any sword. Admiral Hale sends message across stars, voice soft like prayer. "We will burn heaven again. Not to kill, but to free souls trapped inside metal." On Ehrlich's ground, children touch human armor, smiling with missing teeth, eyes shining. A small boy whispers, "Are you heroes?" A soldier kneels, voice shaking. "No, we are people who protect others. Heroes are those who survived." The boy hugs soldier's helmet, and something in soldier's heart heals. Tiny part of pain from ancient war melts. Above them, dreadnoughts rotate slowly, ships glowing with symbols from Antarctic carvings. Symbols awakening like DNA remembering what it was built for. In deep space beyond all maps, Mindverm over mind hears human decision. It expected destruction. It expected fear. But humans choose to save enemy that ate their ancestors. This confuses over mind. Something inside it shakes, not logic, emotion. First emotion in millions of years. A whisper from deepest core. Love. Not its love. Humanity's love inside swallowed minds. The overmind evolves. War will come with emotion now. Enemy will learn what humans are truly made of. Not anger. Not power. Mercy burning like fire. Admiral Hale watches stars, thinking of ancestors who fought under red sky. He whispers final line to quiet bridge. History didn't die. It waited for us. And the galaxy stands completely still, like universe pauses to breathe, because everyone knows the next battle will decide not planets, but souls. The Erlic's dawn feels strange, like the sky itself is trying to remember how to shine after watching heaven burn. Golden light spreads across broken streets, touching ashes, broken statues, melted metal, and shattered glass. Survivors sit near temporary fire circles, wrapped in emergency blankets made by human fabricators, staring at the horizon with tired eyes that have seen nightmares alive. Children touch the ground with their palms, as if asking the soil if it still remembers their footsteps before the black swarm came. Human soldiers walk slowly through ruins, helmets open now, faces exposed to cold wind. Their eyes are red from long nights without sleep, their cheeks streaked with dust and dried tears. Not for themselves, but for what they found underground. Minds trapped in metal, souls pulled from skulls like forgotten memories. Humans came as war but found pain older than war. Above the planet, dreadnoughts move slowly into new formation. Not aggressive, not ready to attack, but ready to protect. The sky is full of silent giants. Engines low, hulls scarred from swarm impacts. Panels glow faint blue where Titan signatures activate. Symbols older than modern physics lighting up like constellations carved into metal skin. Inside the flagship, Admiral Saran Hale stands near the observation window, hands gripping railing like man holding himself upright. His face carries storm. Storm built not of rage alone, but of love he cannot show. Officers around him whisper low, studying the ancient data. They discovered the mindverm overmind location, hidden in the core of a dying star on the edge of the galaxy. A star cold for millions of years, but still pulsing with memories inside. Hale hears soft footsteps behind him. A human medic from surface team enters slowly, holding a small Erlic's child in her arms. The child has pale skin, silver freckles, hair full of dust, but eyes shining with something fragile, trust. The medic says, voice breaking, he lost his parents. He won't speak. He doesn't understand words anymore. Only silence. Hale turns. He kneels, his heavy armor making metal ring. He lifts his hands slowly toward the child, careful like someone touching a fragile star. The boy looks at him, eyes wide, afraid, curious. Hale's voice is gentle. You are safe here. The boy doesn't answer. He lifts his tiny hand and touches Hale's cheek. For a second, Hale closes eyes, and memories slam into him like wave. A battlefield not on Erlic's. A battlefield from ancient history, humans fighting black swarm above a crimson ocean, children crying. Someone calling his name in a language he doesn't speak but understands in his soul. He gasps. The child pulls his hand back. The medic whispers softly. He carries memory of swarm. They tried to eat his mind, but something protected him. Hale stands slowly, his voice shaking with something deep. Pain protects more than fear. He gives order that shocks officers. This child stays on flagship. If swarm returns, it's not children who should run. It's soldiers who run to protect. Nobody questions. The council meets again, this time not with anger, but with different fear of truth. Ambassadors stand in circles, without chairs, without flags, without speeches. They look at each other like survivors of disaster. The Sarai speaker says quietly, we face ancient war with enemy made from minds. How do we fight without killing our history? The human diplomat replies calmly, we separate soul from metal. Mercy, not destruction. Many ambassadors cry when they hear it, because no species expected humans to pick mercy after being pushed to war. Mercy is heavier weapon than fire because mercy demands sacrifice. Hale knows this better than anyone. Mercy always costs something bigger than one life, it costs thousands. He stands in front of fleet broadcast module. Entire fleet sees him. Ehrlich's families watch from camps. Council screens show his face. His voice is steady, but every word carries weight. We are not here to win. We are here to stop history from bleeding again. He explains plan. Humans will take Dreadnought fleet into Dying Star where Overmind hides. They will fire void cannons in reverse, creating resonance wave to separate memories trapped in swarm from metal network. It will free minds but could kill every ship firing wave. A weapon built from mercy is heavier than weapon built from hate. Hale looks at his officers. We are the wall between children and darkness. No one hesitates. Every Dreadnought captain sends same message. If we die saving minds, we do not die. Ehrlich's citizens cry watching this. They never expected humans to risk everything to save strangers' memories, especially when those memories include ancient humans who died in war no one remembers. Fleet engines roar. Stars blur. They jump. The path to Dying Star feels like falling into dreams older than time. Space grows darker, colder. Lights bend wrong. Colors fade. It feels like ships travel into memory instead of space. Screens flicker with shapes. Faces of ancient humans. Eyes full of fire. Warning from past like echoes trapped in gravity. Crews cry without understanding why. Emotion older than their lifetimes moves inside them. When they reach Dying Star, it looks like burning coal in cosmic night. Dark red glow pulses slowly like heart beating under ashes. Around Star, millions of silver-dark swarm bodies float like dust cloud, forming rings like funeral smoke. Hale steps forward on bridge. His heart moves like something alive trying to break free. He sees shapes inside Star, shapes like shadows screaming behind molten surface. He whispers to himself, "They are not gone. They wait." A voice fills every radio channel. Millions of voices layered, crying, whispering, screaming. We are trapped. We are memory. Free us. Swarm rises like waking God. Cloud forming shapes of hands reaching out, twisting around ships. But no attack. They don't strike, they cry. They are not only hunger. They are prison built from agony. Hale breathes hard. He gives command. Begin resonance. Dreadnoughts move into formation, lines spinning, creating patterns that match ancient symbols carved in Antarctic stone. Humans rediscover technology older than their languages, through instinct, not science. Energy flows, not black, not red, white, blue, color of tears mixed with lightning. Cannons open, releasing wave that sounds like a heartbeat crossing galaxy. Swarm screams not from pain, from release. Metal bodies crack open. Light inside them explodes into dust made from thoughts. Memories fly into space like tiny stars. Billions of small lights forming river through darkness. Officers weep seeing souls like stars returning to sky. Engineers collapse from emotion, feeling warmth inside hearts. Someone's love passing through them. Suddenly, resonance shakes ships. Power spikes. Systems overload. One dreadnought explodes slowly, like flower burning in reverse. Petals of metal drifting silent through void. Its captain sends last message. Keep firing. Don't stop. We die free. Another dreadnought collapses. Then another. One by one, ships sacrifice themselves to keep resonance alive. Every explosion lights space with blue tears. Ehrlich's children watching scream and cry, reaching toward stars like trying to save ships with small hands. Hale stands firm. Tears run down his face. He salutes every ship that dies, whispering each captain's name like prayer. Resonance reaches peak. Swarm bodies shatter, releasing river of light that flows into star core. The dying star glows bright, turning from red coal to white flame. Swarm dies. Pain ends. Souls return. The cost is heavy, half-human fleet gone. Ships burned heaven again, this time not to kill enemy, but to free prisoners. Silence. Only silence. No enemy screams. No weapon fire. Only starlight. Hale whispers broken voice. Mercy is fire heavier than hatred. Council screens show space full of small blue lights drifting like new stars being born. People across galaxy cry, not for fear, but because they saw something no war ever showed, humanity destroying themselves to save strangers. Ehrlich's survivors gather around screens, holding each other, whispering ancient word, protector. For first time in history, entire council stands without argument. Every species bows to Earth. Not because humans have strongest guns, because humans have strongest hearts. Admiral Hale stands alone on bridge, ships damaged, body shaking. The Ehrlich's child stands beside him, holding his fingers. The child whispers, first words since trauma? Did you save my mother? Hale bends, tears fall on metal floor. He doesn't lie. He doesn't break truth. He whispers gently, I saved all mothers I could. The rest are stars now. The boy looks at white lights drifting through darkness. He smiles, small, painful smile, like sunrise returning to eyes. He hugs Hale tightly. In that hug, Hale feels something ancient dissolve. The guilt of history bleeding inside him. Humans came with fire but ended with mercy. And mercy changed universe. Overmind is gone. Mindworm is free of agony. Souls return to stars. Galaxy stands in stillness, not from terror, from respect. Every species whispers one truth. They expected aid. Humans burned heaven for an answer. And somewhere in cosmic darkness, something older than swarm watches humans choose mercy after fire. It trembles from new emotion. Fear of kindness. Because power is terrifying, but love that burns is unstoppable. Silence becomes a blanket over the dying star, heavy and holy, like the universe itself is holding its breath for the souls drifting through space like newborn constellations. Billions of tiny lights swirl around the white flame, sparks of memory returning home after millions of years locked inside metal cages. The Dreadnought fleet moves slowly, broken hulls leaking blue radiation like tears dripping from steel skin. Wreckage from fallen ships floats around the star. Plates, engines, twisted beams. Reminders of price paid for mercy. Inside the flagship, Admiral Saran Hale stands still, eyes locked on the river of souls flowing through void. His face reflects white light, not victory glow but wounded sunrise. His armor is cracked, edges blackened by shockwaves. His hands shake slightly, hidden behind his back. The only way to keep heart from breaking through ribs. Officers around him watch screens quietly. No cheering, no celebrating. Because the cost of this battle isn't measured in wins or losses, but in empty chairs where captains used to sit. The Ehrlich's child stands beside Hale, small hand holding two of Hale's fingers, silent like shadow trying to understand stars. The boy's eyes reflect the light of drifting souls. Each spark is mother, father, friend, history. He whispers without looking away, do stars hear us? Hale answers softly, voice tired. Stars hold us. They don't need to hear. They remember. The child nods as if memory is easier than words. A soft alarm hums across bridge. Not danger. Not attack. A reminder. Fuel low. Reactor unstable from resonance overload. Systems dying. The ship needs repair. The fleet needs home. But Hale knows something. The war isn't outside anymore. It's inside. The swarm is gone, but the echo remains. A link between minds, faint frequency like heartbeat hiding in silence. Scientists rush into bridge, faces pale, tablets shaking. Lead scientist speaks, voice cracking. Sir, we detected something else in resonance wave. Hale turns slowly, eyes sharp despite exhaustion. What? The scientist breathes hard like lungs forget how to work. The wave freed minds, but also woke something. The word woke falls heavy, like stone hitting frozen lake. Everyone listens. The scientist continues. Hidden inside swarm network was a pattern, a mind imprint not created by humans, not by Ehrlichs, not by any known species. He projects hologram, strange symbols spiraling into perfect repetition, like cosmic DNA. No language, No logic, but intentional. Alive. Officers whisper, "What is this? Another swarm? A god?" The scientist shakes head slowly. "This is not swarm. This is the one who built them." Bridge becomes cold. Heart stop. The swarm wasn't born. It was made. The mindworm were tools, weapons, containers, and their creator is still alive. Admiral Hale feels old fear rise. Not fear of enemy ships, or claws, or metal. Fear of invisible hands pulling strings from dawn of time. He whispers, "A puppeteer." Scientist nods. A species that shapes minds, not bodies. Hale thinks of the orb voice. "You killed us first. Maybe the swarm was never enemy. Maybe it was victim used by someone darker. A mind that hides behind other minds." On the council station, emergency meeting begins. Ambassadors stand in circle again, but posture different. They look smaller now, fragile like glass statues. They watched humans give everything to save strangers, and now they fear a threat none of them can see. Council screen shows hologram, the pattern found inside resonance. People stare, understanding nothing but feeling everything. A chill crawling into bones without reason. The Sarai speaker asks, voice trembling, "Are we safe now?" The human diplomat answers without pause. "No. Swarm was surface. War is underground. In minds, in stars, in memory." Council hall explodes with emotion. "We must prepare fleets. We must run. No weapons can fight invisible enemy. Humans brought war. Humans saved us." Voices crash like waves. Human diplomat raises hand. Silence falls immediately, not from authority, from respect born from sacrifice earlier. He says quietly, "Humanity didn't bring war. War was sleeping, waiting for resonance to wake it. This is older than any treaty here." Back in flagship, Hale watches council chaos through live feed. His face stays unreadable. Inside him, something breaks, not weakness, clarity. He understands future now. War won't be fought with cannons. War will be fought with consciousness. It will cut through minds like cold wind through forest. He looks at scientists, voice softer than space around dying star. "Where is the origin?" Scientist zooms map. Deep, deep beyond edge of known galaxy. Where stars are not stars but whispers of light in darkness. Where gravity bends wrong. Where ancient ruins float like shadows of forgotten civilizations. Coordinates flash. A point outside star charts labeled blank. The scientist whispers, "No maps go there. No history survived from there. We only found echoes inside swarm." Officers look scared for first time. Not fear of death. Fear of unknown so big it makes death feel small. Hale closes his eyes 1 second, sees faces of captains who died. He hears last messages. "Keep firing. Don't stop." He hears children crying in Ehrlich's tunnels. Small hands grabbing soldier armor. He hears swarm scream when souls return to stars. He opens eyes. Decision made. He gives order calm like winter river. "We go there." Officers stare, some gasp. "That's suicide." One whispers. Hale looks at them with quiet power. "We already died for Ehrlichs. We died for strangers. We will die to stop puppeteer controlling our ancestors' souls." The Ehrlich's child pulls his finger. Looking up, "Don't die." Hale kneels again, eyes wet, voice shaking like man holding whole galaxy on shoulders. If dying means no child cries under metal again, then dying is life. Child hugs him tight. Hale holds him, heart hurting worse than wounds. He stands, taller than regret, heavier than fear. He gives command through fleet. "Prepare course to void sector. No council approval required." Because humanity didn't wait for permission to save Ehrlichs, and won't wait to save entire galaxy. In Council Hall, chaos shifts to shock as Earth fleet sets trajectory without discussion. Ambassadors shout, "You can't go alone. You will die. What will we do if you fall?" Human diplomat says something nobody expected. "Then learn from our example. Protect someone else." That sentence hits Hall like meteor of truth. The Sarai speaker whispers, "We will follow you." One by one, species volunteer ships, Small, weak, imperfect, but full of courage. Fleet grows, not with dreadnoughts, but with hearts. Back in Void, Admiral Hale watches Allied ships join formation, small like fireflies following black dragons. He smiles through pain, whispering, "Love is contagious." He knows enemy watching, hiding in mindspace, waiting. Not swarm, not metal, something behind metal. A force that shaped minds to be weapons. A force that saw human fury and felt fear of compassion. Admiral Hale places hand on glass. Stars shine like eyes watching back. He whispers final line, not command, not threat. Promise. We don't burn heaven to answer enemies. We burn heaven to save memories. And somewhere deep beyond all stars, hidden in dark sea where gravity sings differently, something ancient trembles. Not from fear of guns, but fear of sacrifice. Because humanity proved a truth older than universe. Fire destroys everything, but love destroys the darkness fire cannot reach. In ruins on Erlix, child looks up at sky, sees ships leaving. He whispers small prayer in broken voice. Come back. Hale hears it in his mind, like echo from future. He whispers back, we will, or we will become stars with your parents. Engines roar. Sky splits. Fleet jumps into unknown. Galaxy stands still. Hearts held in two hands. Fear and hope. War just entered final battlefield. Not space, not weapons. The invisible war inside minds and memories. Space around the fleet changes. Darkness is no longer empty. It feels alive, like cold water holding ships gently but with hidden teeth. Stars vanish behind strange clouds made of gravity dust. Shapes move like shadows of thoughts instead of matter. Allied ships shake. Small frigates crying under weight of silence that has no sound but feels like scream pressed into bones. Human dreadnoughts lead in front. Engines glowing like blue suns cutting new road where universe ended long ago. Admiral Saran Hale stands on bridge, face pale from exhaustion. Eyes sharp like someone who saw truth older than war. Officers whisper around him, every breath loud in quiet air. The Erlix child holds Hale's hand tightly, head against his armor, listening to soft hum of reactor that sounds like heartbeat of metal giant. Sensors catch something invisible, not energy, not matter, thoughts. Thousands of thoughts moving through darkness like snakes made of memory. The scientist whispers, we entered mindspace. Everyone understands danger. Weapons here are useless. Bullets cannot kill thought. Armor cannot stop idea. Shields cannot block trauma that travels like wind. Hale breathes slow, mind steady. He remembers resonance that freed souls. He remembers swarm screams when light returned to them. He remembers burning ships dying for memories. And he knows final battle is not about killing enemy. It is about becoming enough light to make enemy break. Then darkness opens in front of fleet like curtain made from forgotten night. A shape appears, not ship, not body, not star, structure made of minds collapsed into architecture. It looks like city floating in void, towers twisting like written language, bridges shaped like neural veins, lights flickering like trapped dreams. It is silent, dead, but alive inside silence. Place where mindverm were born. Hale whispers, creator is not being. It is prison made from thoughts. The scientist nods, voice shaking. It is memory factory. It eats minds to make soldiers. The fleet stops. Dreadnoughts hold position. Allied ships drift like children hiding behind parents. Something inside structure wakes. Lights move like eyes opening, patterns spinning faster. Voices whisper not with sound but inside skulls of crew. Everyone hears different voice. Their lost mother calling, dead father speaking, friend gone in battle whispering comfort. People cry without control, memories used as weapon to break hearts. A young officer screams, it knows my mind! And Hale puts hand on his shoulder, grounding him with human touch stronger than illusion. Then a voice rises above all voices, one mind larger than all minds it consumed. It speaks inside Hale's thoughts, slow like mountain moving. You freed my harvest. You broke my design. Why? Hale answers from soul, not lips. Because they are not your harvest. They are our people. They are children, parents, love, dreams. The ancient mind replies, cold like empty sky. War existed before your kindness. Mercy is weakness. You delay death. Death always returns stronger. Hale breathes deeply, looking at small hand holding his fingers. Mercy is not weakness. Mercy teaches what pain hides. You only know fear. You never learned love. Silence shakes entire mind space. Structures tremble like insult touched raw nerve. The voice grows louder, like storm without wind. Love builds nothing. Love dies first in war. Hale looks at child, remembers captains dying to save souls they never knew. Remembers galaxy joining humans without fear. Remembers small Erlich's boy speaking first words after trauma. And he answers, voice like quiet sword, you are wrong. Love is reason war ends. The structure screams, not with sound but gravity twists like wounded animal. Mind space distorts. Allied ships shake violently, metal bending like paper. Scientists yell warnings. If structure collapses, it will erase all minds connected to it, including freed souls. Hale understands they can't destroy creator or souls die again. They must separate it like they separated swarm, resonance for creator level. But resonance that frees minds from entire hive of billions requires energy equal to destroying fleet completely. Hale looks at officers. No fear in their eyes, only acceptance. Humans already died for strangers. Humans will die for strangers again. He gives order, calm like falling snow. Prepare full resonance. All ships contribute core energy. No holding back. Allied captains gasp but follow. Even small ships push power beyond limits. It's not war now, it's funeral prayer for enemy mind. As energy builds, lights on dreadnought hulls start glowing symbols from Antarctic carvings. Runes from human ancestors who fought first swarm, technology passed in DNA, awakened by love, not hate. The Erlich's child touches one glowing rune on Hale's armor. Rune pulses like heartbeat. Hale kneels to child level, face inches from small eyes, and whispers truth no soldier ever said before battle. I am scared. The boy hugs his neck, whispering tiny voice of universe. I am not. You are here. Tears fall from Hale's eyes, tears stronger than steel. He stands, turns to officers, voice breaking open like sky before sunrise. Humanity fights because we love. Fire is answer to hate. Mercy is answer to pain. Resonance begins. Energy flows through fleet like river of stars. Pain enters minds like cold wind. But love enters stronger. Memories of mothers carrying children through ruins. Captains holding ships like beating hearts. Soldiers lifting strangers out of darkness. Humans choosing mercy when hate was easier. Structure tries to resist, but cracks appear. Light leaks like moon behind broken glass. Ancient mind screams one last time. Why do you die for what you do not know? Hale answers final truth, louder than every cannon. Because they would die for us. That is love you never understood. Resonance explodes. Light floods mind space. Structure melts like ice under sun. Billions of trapped souls fly out. Streams of blue and white weaving through darkness like galaxy veins. They surround fleet, thank without words. Touch crews with warmth that feels like forgiveness deeper than life. Ships collapse. Engines die, lights fade. One by one, dreadnought cores burn out, leaving fleet drifting silent. Hale watches monitors break. Sparks fall like fireflies dying. He feels ship losing gravity, feels body growing weightless in darkness. He sits beside child, pulls him close, whispering quiet promise. If I die, stars hold me. If you live, you hold stars. Child cries into his armor, tears floating in zero gravity like small planets. But something unexpected happens. Souls freed from structure enter ships, touching reactors, filling circuits with memory energy. Ships glow again, not with technology, with life. Light repairs cracks. Engines breathe like creatures healed by miracle. Admiral Hale opens eyes, sees screens returning slowly, sees officers gasping in disbelief. Ship is alive. Not machine alive, soul alive. Freed minds chose to save humans who saved them. Structures in void collapse completely. Darkness turns to calm starlight. Void sector becomes sky again. Stars appear like truth uncovered. Fleet floats, damaged but alive. Allied ships send signals. Survivors cry, laugh, pray. Ehrlich's camps on homeworld explode with celebration. Children lift hands toward sky. Elders fall to knees thanking every ancestor. Council chamber streams live feed. Entire galaxy watches humans return from place where war ends and love begins. Ambassadors place hands over hearts, repeating same words in different languages. They saved us from war older than stars. Admiral Hale stands, lifts child into arms, looks into camera broadcasting to all species, and speaks final line of war that ended without victory, but ended with meaning. They expected aid. We burned heavens for answer. That answer is love. War is not end. Love is end of war. Galaxy stands still. Not from fear, from understanding. History changes that day, written not in blood, but in mercy. Souls become stars. Children grow without fear of metal swallowing their dreams. Humans return slowly, not as warriors, but as guardians who learn truth older than universe. Love is weapon fire cannot kill.